What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning back into the Biz with C right here, right now on my Distance Radio. We have Sassy of Black Ink on with us. What's going on, beautiful?
Hi there, everybody.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling lovely. I'm wonderful. I'm black in America. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I got a roof over my head. I can't really complain too much.
I know that's right. Preach on, sister. And thanks so much, for coming on the show. Definitely are one of our on the show.
Thank you, guys.
No doubt.
Thank you, guys.
So since it's your first time on our show, tell me what made you decide to want to do reality TV with Black Ink?
I was actually brought into Black Ink through Puma. I met Puma through a friend of mine, through a mutual friend of ours, and they had already kind of been filming to the pilot to even get Black Ink. You know what I mean? And it originally started off as kind of like being like an all-guy cast. You know what I mean? And then, like, once they were interested in pitching it to VH1, VH1 is a female-driven based network, so it was like they needed some more girls on the show. So Puma called me one day, and he's like, listen, I need you to come in just to kind of, like, film something for me real quick. He's like, you're not going to get paid, you're not going to make it on TV, but I just need you to do something for me. And I'm like, all right, man. So I kind of get up, and I make him a bacon, egg, and cheese like I usually do, and I take it over to Black Ink to him, and by the time I left there that day, man, they asked me if I wanted to be a part of the show. And it was one of the most randomest things, but I knew it was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up on. So I kind of just tackled it, and it's just been an amazing journey ever since then.
Absolutely. And I have to say, I'm glad that you decided to take the opportunity with it because, I mean, you're just flawless and, like, your work in itself with the tattooing and just like your beauty like that, and it definitely helped like you catapult your own platform for yourself.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
No doubt. So this season of Black Ink is a little bit crazier than the first and the second. What is your what's your take on it? Just everything that's going on.
Oh, my gosh. I think, honestly, the best way I could possibly describe it is it's a journey. You know what I mean? It's something that, you know, we all kind of just came into together, and we've been through it all since season one. And, you know, it's like, it's life, man. We go through our ups, we go through our downs, we fight, we bicker, we hug, we laugh, we cry. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's intense to see that the type, you know, the changes that has happened since season one. You know, we didn't even think that we would really even get a show, and then here we are 3 seasons later, people still wanting to see us and still intrigued as to what's going on with our lives, you know? So it's like, I feel like in the beginning we were like a fist, we were like closed-knit, you know what I mean? And now everybody's kind of venturing off and trying to figure out their own path, you know? And I feel like with that comes, you know, the changes and the growth. And sometimes that means people go their separate ways, other people come together, you know what I mean? It's just like life, and we're kind of just experiencing it all together, you know?
Definitely. And let's talk about, you know, going different ways like this, since you kind of segued into my next question, what I'm going to ask you, and your loyalty to your friends. You were at Black Ink with the rest of the crew, but when Puma left, like that, you decided to leave with them, and I got to say, great move on your part, because you guys have done some great stuff together. What's it like, you know, working with somebody who's, you know, very innovative as like yourself?
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a learning experience. It's helping me grow, you know, as a businesswoman, as a friend, as, you know, a person, you know what I mean? Like, Puma's someone who, he's my best friend. I'm the godmother of his child. Like, him and I are stuck together forever, you know what I mean? And I feel like with the show and with everything that's been happening, it's also been a test in, like, him and I's relationship, whether it be business or whether it be personal, you know what I mean? And kind of we've now been, you know, experiencing, you know, the rough patches in friendships and testing our friendship and testing our business relationship, and, you know, what are the lines, what are the boundaries that we can cross, you know? But I think with him, it's like, it's never, any time that I think that something bad is happening, or, you know, like, when I'm thinking that he's going to give up or I'm ready to give up, you know what I mean? He just comes around and surprises me with something else, you know what I mean? Like, he has there's a fight in that man like no other. For him to be so small, you know, like, I appreciate it and I love it. And, you know, it's inspiring me, you know, like he's there putting everybody else against him, you know what I mean? And like, as opposed to crumbling and like hiding away in a dark wall, like he's fighting, you know. And he may not fight the right way every time, but like at least he's out there trying, you know, and that's the most that I could possibly ask from anyone. And he's been consistent in my life, so I have to take that expression. So, you know, like we've always been so uppity and like great and, you know, wonderful. You know what I mean? And that's what I think what everybody was expecting. But it's like, no, this is real, man. Like, we go through our ups and we go through our downs. And, right, you know, for a while, you know, we kind of were in a little gray area. You know what I mean? And you kind of got to see what happens and, you know, see how true friendship overcomes the bad and the negative, you know?
Right. So it works. It just really works out for you guys, you know, with, like, your energy, like, to do business.
Yeah, for anything. It's like we're like being his man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it's just like I feel like he respects me enough to be able to bring me into his business side of thing, and I have to appreciate that. You know what I mean? There aren't very many, especially female women that are in the tattoo industry or that are even in that are in the industry that are able to carry their own, that aren't sucking and fucking their way to the top. You know what I mean? People always dreaded to me like, no, if you do what you got to do, and people will respect you, and people, you know, they'll follow you, and they'll want to be a part of whatever you're doing without you having to go that route. You know what I mean? So it's like to have somebody behind you that's pushing you that way, and that's like really cares about your well-being and cares about your success, and is trying to be with you and succeeding. You have to keep that person around in your life. You know, you can't just let them go, because that person really believes in me and believes in what I want and what Sassy wants. It's not just about the Wonder Twins. He's been the first person trying to push Sassy before I was ready to push Sassy, you know?
Right. And he's so awesome, and it's good to have a friend like that. Like, I have a friend just like I have a relationship with a friend of mine just like you and Puma do, and I just think, like, a lot of people should try to, I wouldn't say try to emulate, but they should definitely look at y'all friendship and be like, this is how to be loyal. This is, we can't, it's not the disloyalty in life, you know?
Right. Exactly that, man. Exactly that.
So now tell me just a little bit about, like, your relationships with the other cast members, new and everybody that, you know, the familiar faces we know.
Oh, I mean, like I said, man, we all, you know, we're cool, and that's going to be something. We started through this together, you know what I mean? And like I said before, you know, we go through our ups, we go through our downs, and that's with everybody on the, you know, on the show, you know what I mean? And everybody that's, you know, part of Black Ink. So the same way, like I said, I've always tried to be Switzerland, you know what I mean? No matter what happens, I'll try to keep everybody's problems separated. So, you know, I just try to be cool, and, you know, I'm cool with everybody. Everybody seems to be cool with me, you know?
Absolutely. So now, let's talk about your brand, because your brand outside of the show really is, it's really hot right now. You're doing a lot of different modeling things, different speaking engagements. Let's talk about all the things that you've got going on with your brand.
Well, I think the one thing that I did have that was separate from everybody else on the show is just that, you know, I was brought into the tattoo world, you know what I mean? And I was introduced that to everybody else as part of Black Ink, and being friends with Puma and being around Keys there, you know what I mean, and oh shit. But for me, I've always been into fashion, and you know what I mean? That's kind of where Sassy even kind of came from, you know? So it's like for some reason, I've been able to build my platform with just my styling and the way that I look, you know, and people look forward to that every week. They want to see what I'm wearing and everything like that. So I feel like it's my job now to kind of capitalize that and, you know, not disappoint people and bring people more into, you know, Sassy's world. And so I'm really trying to focus on fashion. I'm really trying to get on some red carpets and, you know, talking to some people and asking some questions, you know what I mean? I feel like I've been kind of playing the back burner a little too much, so people kind of want to know who Sassy is and what she's doing and how can they be a part of the nation, you know what I mean? And I think that's really what it is. I'm trying to build something that's like all, you know, not just women, but, you know, that everybody can kind of be a part of and that wants to be a part of, you know? It's not, I don't want to put it out there like that, but, you know, I don't get me wrong, I have my ratchet moments, but it's just like there's just another way of going about it. You know what I mean? Like everybody on reality TV isn't you know, I'm not going to turn up and wild out like other people may. I'm like, I have a path and I have a lane. I feel like I have a lane that other people are willing, they're in that same lane. So I can kind of speak and ride that lane and let other people ride the other lane. So definitely the fashion game is definitely going to be something. And I want people to definitely pay attention to that. And I could possibly actually working with a couple of designers and having some exclusive pieces made. So by the end of it, there'll be like a Sassy collection of just specific pieces that I made. And, if people are interested in doing it, then I'll be able to, get them to them.
That's what's up. Now, we talked to Kwani earlier, and Kwani is getting ready to do her thing and work with some different designers. Are you guys going to possibly collab and do something together?
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe potentially. I can't speak what the future will hold. I mean, I love Kwani, and I think Kwani right now is kind of getting her foot into the game and trying to figure out exactly what it is she wants to do. And I feel like sometimes it's great to have somebody on your team or working with you that can help bring light to your brand, but on the other side, you kind of want to have your own. You know what I mean? And I don't want Kwani's brand or people to feel like that, Kwani shit is only popping off because of, myself or because of Puma. So if she wants me to come in and help her out with anything, then I'll be totally down. She wants me to be a model for her, anything like that, I would totally be open for that. But I definitely wouldn't want to go in and being like, oh, well, Sassy's doing this with Kwani. So, I want her to find her own lane and I want her to shine. So if she asks for my help, then I'll come in. But other than that, I'll try to work on Sassy.
Absolutely. And now in the next episode that we're going to see, Kwani did some work with you as far as the fashion and stuff like that. How was that whole that collaboration that you guys quickly did with that?
I think coming back from Paris, it was exciting for both Kwani and I both to kind of, step away from Ink 124 and step away from Puma and kind of, I'm interested in fashion and Kwani's interested in fashion. So I knew that I was going to be shooting with Walter. So I was just like, I think that would kind of be the perfect opportunity to bring Kwani in. You know what I mean? So
right. I
think we both were very excited going into it. So I think we both just kind of, gave our best and just have to see what the turnout is on next week's episode.
Definitely. And now I've been asking everybody that I've talked to from the show today, what's the one thing that you absolutely, I'll flip it. I'm not going to go with the negative. Let's go with the positive. What's the one thing that you absolutely love about this season that you absolutely might have hated with the other two seasons?
Oh, I don't know. We've had a lot of good and a lot of bad with, season 1, 2, and, coming in with season 3. I don't know. I think for myself, what I'll have to say is, I think I struggled myself this season with, playing Switzerland. And I think I don't know if that's necessarily what you wanted, but I think what I did struggle with and what I had a hard time with was, maintaining my friendship and my relationship with Puma and maintaining my friendship and my relationship with the Black Ink crew. You know what I mean? And that came with a lot of ups and downs. So I think that's probably what I would take as my most frustrating thing and a big change and, something that challenged me that I didn't go through in the other seasons. You know what I mean? So
when you decided to leave Black Ink, what was season really saw on that besides from what we saw? Because we're talking about how you stepping out doing your own thing, and that's always great. But what was more in-depthness off camera with that?
Honestly, what you got was really what's kind of what you guys see is kind of what's really going on. You know what I mean? We tackle it makes it does make sound cliche, but we can't really write the shit that we go through, you know what I mean? And I think for anybody, any business owner, any person who, any friend or any, employer, I don't know. I feel like Steve and I always kind of have a level-headed relationship, you know what I mean? Him and I have never really beefed between the two of us, So I can imagine that there was probably some sort of, I don't know if it was resentment or, what exactly the feeling is, but I also know that Caesar knows my relationship and my relationship with Puma. You know what I mean? So I don't know if even for himself, if he could have asked him, if he could have been okay with asking me to stay. You know what I mean? Like, he knows that that's my boy, and not necessarily that, like, I'm, you know, I just have a loyalty to Puma. You know what I mean? And it's like I was trying to in the first season, after the first season, to try to, you know, be at Black Ink and still, you know, have my relationship with Puma, but, you know, that got tested. So I had to make a choice. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that I stopped loving anybody or that, you know, we stopped hanging out or stopped being friends, you know?
Right. Definitely. And we love it. We love that you're able to, you know, really keep such a great relationship with everybody and them not being so like, oh, well, that's Puma's friend. And like, because you know how people get in life, how they be like, once they see that you're, you know, able to talk to everybody, they're like, oh, I don't like that person, or I've got a close eye on with them.
Right.
Well, Sassy, thanks so much for this interview. Definitely loved chatting with you. I'm still living for like your high energy. We'll have to meet one day for sure.
Listen, I'm all about it. I don't know what you listen. You can come and I don't know, whatever way that we need to make it happen. If I don't know if you got to come out for an event, and I don't know, whatever way we need to. But I'm totally down, and I'm always down, and I'm happy that, you know, the energy plays. You know, you guys feel it, so that's what I feel all day. You know, so I just want to spread it, and I hope you guys are getting it exactly what I'm feeling there.
And definitely, that's what we're about here, about My Fierce Link, you know, being fierce, having high energy, and not being dull, because, you know, no shade to anybody else, but, you know, with interviews, sometimes there are people that are just, like, dull, the interviewer is dull, the whole thing is dull, but we're just, like, over here, like, ooh, yes, this is great. Living.
So I appreciate that very much. I appreciate it.
No doubt. Well, Sassy, tell everybody before we have you do a drop for us where they can find you as far as, you know, your social and your website and all that good stuff.
Okay. Hey, everybody. This is Sassy from VH1's Black Ink Crew. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Sassy Got a Chopper. I promise I'll try to follow you back. I'm just going to get on Snapchat, so you can search me soon at Sassy Got a Chopper. And, yeah, check me out Monday nights, Black Ink Crew, only on VH1.
Yeah. Now, Sassy Got a Chopper. Now, what? Now, when you say chopper, what are we talking about? Something lethal?
Well, I guess I guess it hasn't been out in quite a while. A lot of people, I guess, have forgotten about it. But I have a AK-47, which is also called a chopper, on my back. It's about a life size. It's from my shoulder all the way down to my butt. Caesar actually did my chopper when I first got it done, but then I had it done over by another artist named Cuddy. So yeah, maybe you can even you know, catch some of that on this season of Black Ink. Hey everybody, this is Sassy, and you are now tuned into The Biz.